Hi students, in before video we discussed some important formulas and graphs. Now we will discuss some more important graphs and formulas. Once look at here. So based on de Broglie concept, some formulas are there here. Based on Bohr model, some formulas are there here. So based on de Broglie, formulas are there. So what are that formula? What is the de Broglie theory? De Broglie theory is that is explained dual nature of the matter. That explain dual nature of the matter. So relation between wave nature and particle nature give one relation. That relation is lambda equal to h by mv. That means wavelength of the fast moving particles is inversely proportional to momentum. So wave character and particle character one by one inversely proportional. So lambda is indicates wave character, where momentum indicates particle nature. The two are inversely proportional. Wavelength of the radiation, the matter increases, momentum decreases. Momentum of the particle increases, wavelength of the matter decreases. The two are inversely proportional. So what is the relation? The two inversely proportional. The graph between wavelength of the particle or matter and momentum, the two are inversely proportional. That relation is inversely proportional. For mass and so here lambda equal to h by mv, the wavelength and mass also inversely proportional. Wavelength and mass also inversely proportional. So mass of the particles increases, wavelength of the de Broglie wavelength decreases. Mass of the particle increases, wavelength of the de Broglie wavelength decreases. That is very important. For example, so for same kinetic energy of the particular particles, same energy, what is the relation between wavelength and mass? So per electron wavelength is more than next proton wavelength, next alpha particle. So mass increases, wavelength decreases. Mass increases, wavelength decreases. De Broglie explained dual nature of the matter. De Broglie explained dual nature of the matter. So these are applicable to microparticles. So mass of the particle increases, wavelength decreases. Wavelength is very negligible. Mass increases. So this relation is applicable to microparticles, mostly microparticles. So what is the relation between kinetic energy and wavelength? So wavelength and kinetic energy, what is the relation? So here also inversely proportional, lambda equal to h by square root of 2m ke. Kinetic energy increases, wavelength decreases. For example, kinetic energy 4 times increases, initial kinetic energy, so increased by 4 times. Here kinetic energy increased by 4 times. Then wavelength is decreased by 2 times. Why? Because here square root is there. So here 4 means that is the come to outside 2. So kinetic energy is increased by 4 times and wavelength is decreased by 2 times. So what is the relation between these two? So kinetic energy of the particle increases, wavelength decreases. That is the inversely proportional. So square root of kinetic energy and wavelength inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. So kinetic energy increases, wavelength decreases. Wavelength of the matter. Wavelength of the matter. So in place of kinetic energy, have to write charge into potential. K equal to charge into potential. Charge of the particles, potential of the particle increases, wavelength decreases. Charge of the particle or potential of the particle increases, wavelength decreases. So per electron, per electron, that equal to square root of 150 by V in angstroms. Per proton, that equal to 0.0286 square root of V into angstroms. And next, per alpha particle, 0.101 square root of V angstroms. That is the very important formulas. These formulas are very important, useful formulas. So wavelength and potential, what is the relation? Inversely proportional. Potential of the particle increases, wavelength decreases. Potential of the particles 4 times increases, so wavelength is decreased by 2 times. Here 9 times increases, so this is decreased by 3 times. This is the 16 times increases, this is decreased by 4 times. That is the very important relations. Kinetic energy increases, mass increases. Kinetic energy increases, mass increases, potential increases, wavelength decreases. That is a very important relation. So de Broglie wavelength of any particular orbit equal to n into 3.3 into angstroms. N into 3.3 into angstroms. That is a very important. So what is the relation between wavelength and square root of potential? Inversely proportional. This is the increases, this is the decreases. So this is the very important. So here another formula is there. N lambda equal to 2 pi r. N lambda equal to 2 pi r means the integral multiple of wavelength is equal to circumference of that orbit or that wave. So according to de Broglie, matter have dual nature, both particle nature and wave nature. The two phases ends are mixed, that means in phase. In phase, n lambda equal to 2 pi r. Out of phase, so n lambda not equal to 2 pi r. This is the out of phase, this is the in phase. That are very important. Based on this formula, easily calculate the particular orbit wavelength, de Broglie wavelength. So already know that according to Bohr, you have to calculate the radius. Using that radius, easily calculate the wavelength of that matter. De Broglie wavelength. De Broglie wavelength. So very important this. So next, number of waves produced in a particular orbit equal to n. So first orbit, number of waves produced in only one wave is existing first orbit. Second orbit, how many waves are produced? 2 waves. Third orbit, how many waves are produced? 3 waves. Fourth orbit, 4 waves. So number of waves produced in a particular orbit equal to n. This is a very important. So next, go to Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This is a very important principle. So what is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Heisenberg uncertainty principle, nothing but it is impossible to determine exact position and momentum simultaneously. It is impossible to determine exact position and momentum in simultaneously. That is called as Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It is applicable to microparticles, not applicable to macroparticle. It is the against to Bohr theory. It is the against to Bohr theory. So what is the formula? Delta x into delta p greater than or equal to h by 4 pi, h by 4 pi. So here minimum condition, what is the minimum condition? Delta x into delta p equal to h by 4 pi. This is the minimum condition, this is the minimum value. The product uncertainty in the product of delta x and delta p equal to h by 4 pi. That is the minimum value. That is the minimum value. Maximum value is greater than h by 2 pi. So this is the very important. Delta x into delta v. Delta x into delta v. delta x into delta v. This is the delta v. So here delta in place of delta p, m into delta v, that equal to h by 4 pi m. H by 4 pi m, and delta x into delta v inversely proportional to mass. Mass of the particle increases, the uncertainty in the product of uncertainty in velocity and position decreases. The product of uncertainties of position and velocities decreases with increase in mass. So mass is increases, uncertainty decreases. So this law is applicable to micro particles, not applicable to macro particles. So this theory is against to Bohr theory. So here delta x, if delta x value is 0, then delta v equal to infinity. That means there is no uncertainty in the position of the electron. That time more uncertainty is in velocity, very more. That means infinity uncertainty is there. If the measured accurately 100% position, so we cannot measure velocity. Suppose we can measure 100% accurately in position, we cannot measure velocity. And next condition is, if delta v equal to 0, then delta x equal to infinity. Suppose we can 100% accurately in velocity, that time cannot measure delta x value. Cannot measure delta x value. These are very, very important relations. So next, so here delta x equal to delta p, then find out the delta p equal to formula or delta v equal to formula. What is the delta p? What is the delta p? Here delta x equal to delta p. That means here in place of delta x you have to write delta p into delta p whole square equal to h by 4 pi in minimum condition. So that equal to delta p equal to square root of h by 4 pi, that equal to 1 by 2 into square root of h by pi. So this is the very, very important. And next, delta x equal to delta p, what is the delta v? So delta p whole square equal to, what is the formula? h by 4 pi. So here delta p means m into delta v whole square is equal to h by 4 pi. So that equal to delta v square equal to 1 by m square into 4 pi into h. So that equal to delta v equal to 1 by 2m square root of h by 5. This is the very, very important formula. So this is the very, very important calculation, simple problems. These are very simple problems. And next, so another formula is there. Delta xa by delta xb for two different particles. Delta va by delta vb equal to what? So this is the constant, in both cases cancel, that equal to mb by ma. So this is a very, very important relation for two particles. For two particles, delta x or delta v is given, you have to calculate the remaining. So by using this formula, that is a very, very important relation. So what is the relation between delta x and delta v? That is the inversely proportional. For example, uncertainty of delta x increases, uncertainty in delta v decreases. The two are inversely proportional. So that means uncertainty in delta s increase means delta x cannot be measured, delta v can be measured. So this is a very important relations, these are very important formulas. So next go to Bohr model, Bohr atomic model. Some formulas are there, important formulas. So, what is the Bohr theory? According to Bohr, electron revolve in a circular orbit, circular path that are called as orbits. As long as electron revolve in a particular orbit, energy is constant. That orbits are called as stationary orbits that are represented by KLMN. So, when the electron jump from lower orbit to lower energy level to higher energy level, energy is absorbed, higher to lower energy is releases. That energy difference equal to E2 minus E1 equal to h mu. E2 minus E1 equal to h mu. So here angular momentum of the particular orbit MVR equal to nh by 2 pi. This is a very simple formula and important formula. This is a very important formula. So based on this formula, how to ask the bits. So angular momentum of the angular momentum of the electron in a particular orbit. So MVR and n. So n value increases, MVR value increases. N value increases, MVR value increases. So here n equal to 1, MVR value and angular momentum of the electron equal to h by 2 pi. N equal to 2h by 2 pi. N equal to 3h by 2 pi. N equal to 4. So n value increases, angular momentum of the electron in a particular orbit increases. So difference between any two successive orbits, for example, this is the first orbit, this is the second orbit, difference equal to MVR for first orbit, second orbit minus MVR for first orbit equal to 2h by 2 pi minus h by 2 pi. So that equal to h by 2 pi. So this is the quantized value. This is a quantized value. Any two successive orbits, the difference equal to h by 2 pi. So based on this formula, very simple problems are there. So what is the angular momentum of the fifth orbit? So for fifth orbit, what is the value? MVR equal to 5h by 2 pi. 5h by 2 pi. That is a very easy formulas. So what is the angular momentum? Angular momentum of the electron of the O orbit. So angular momentum of the O orbit MVR equal to, for O orbit means that is the fifth orbit, K, L, M, N, O. So that is the fifth orbit, 5h by 2 pi. So that equal to 2.5 h by 5. So these are very important. So MVR equal to NH by 2 pi. What is the relation between MVR and N? N value increases, MVR value increases. So next, so another important formula, radius of the orbit, nth orbit, that equal to radius of the nth orbit equal to n square by z into 0.529 angstroms. So radius of the any orbit is directly proportional to n square. N value increases, radius of the orbit increases. Here slope is 0.529 angstroms by z. Here slope is given, the graph between radius and n square. Slope is given, that slope equal to, for slope is given 10. Easily calculate the z value. Easily calculate the z value. So here slope nothing but 0.529 angstroms by z. This is the slope. Here intercept is 0. Intercept is 0. So here graph between radius and z per particular orbit. Graph between radius and z, that is the inversely proportional. Z of atomic number increases, atomic number of elements increases, radius of the particular orbit decreases. Radius of the particular orbit decreases. Here slope equal to n square into 0.529 angstroms. So slope is given, for example, slope is particular value is given, easily calculate the orbit, which principal quantum number n. Easily calculate the principal quantum number n. So to apply the log in both sides, So for this formula, so log Rn equal to log n square plus log 0.529 angstroms by z. This is the intercept. Y equal to mx plus c. So here graph between log Rn and log n square. So directly proportional and positive slope, positive intercept. Here slope, here theta equal to 45. Slope equal to 1. That equal to tan 45, that equal to 1. So very important. Whatever it may be the graph, the y equal to, this equal to, what is the formula? Once check it and identify the what is the slope and what is the intercept. This equal to what is the formula? So have to identify, basic formula is one is there. So this equal to what is the formula? So have to identify. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. For different orbits, the ratio of the radiuses of the different orbits, R1 is to, R2 is to, R3 is to, R4, that equal to 1 square. Per first orbit 1 square, per second orbit 2 square, per third orbit 3 square, per fourth orbit 4 square. For hydrogen atom, different orbits ratio. For other atoms, for particular orbit, R1 for n equal to 1. For other atoms, the hydrogen atom radius and helium plus radius and lithium plus 2 radius and beryllium plus 3 radius, that equal to 1 by Z. For hydrogen atom Z 1 by Z. Per helium atom Z equal to 2, 1 by 2. Per lithium atom Z 3, 1 by 3. Per beryllium atom Z 4. This is the radius of different atoms per particular orbit. So this is the very important. R1 by R2 equal to formula N1 square by N2 square into Z2 by Z1. So radius is inversely proportional to atomic number, directly proportional to orbit number. This is the very important. So here important relation is there. R1 of hydrogen equal to R2 of beryllium plus 3. That means R1 of hydrogen means N equal to 1, Z equal to 1, that get this value. R2 of B plus 3. Here Z equal to 4, second orbit 2 square by 4, that cancel the get the same value. That equal to R3 of fluorine plus 8. Fluorine plus 8. 1 electron particles. All are have 1 electron particles. This relation is very important. So next go to energy. For nth orbit, energy equal to minus 13.6 into electron volts into z square by n square by z square by n square. That is the very important. Minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 10 power minus 18 into z square by n square. This is the joule per atom. And next 1312 kilojoule per mole into z square by n square, or 313.6 kilocalories per mole into z square by n square. So energy's relation, your atomic number and principal quantum number, so that equal to energy equal to En equal to minus 13.6 electron volts into z square by n square. Here minus is there. Energy is inversely proportional to z square and directly proportional to n square. N value increases, energy of the orbit increases, z value increases. For particular orbit, energy is decreases. So for hydrogen atom, z equal to 1. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. For first orbit, energy is 13.6 electron volts. 13.6 electron volts. And second orbit, minus 3.4 electron volts. So here Z equal to 1, N equal to 2, 2 square. 13.6 by 4. Next, third orbit, energy equal to, for third orbit energy, minus 1.5 electron volts. For fourth orbit energy equal to minus 0.85. So what is the energy of for hydrogen atom? First orbit minus 13.6 electron volts. Second orbit energy is minus 3.4. Third orbit energy is minus 1.5. And fourth orbit energy is minus 8.5. So n value increases, energy of the orbit increases. N value increases, energy of the orbit increases. So energy difference between any two lines, n value increases, energy difference between any two lines decreases. Here 10.2. So here energy difference is 10.2. Here energy difference is 1.5. So what is the here energy difference? 1.5 minus 0.85. That equal to 5, 14, 6. That equal to 0.65. 10, 14, 15. At 0.65. So energy difference between any two lines, n value increases, decreases. That difference is decreases. So first orbit, second orbit difference is more when compared to remaining all orbits. So what is the energy of first azide state of hydrogen atom? First azide state. This is not a first azide state. This is the first azide state. minus 3.4, and second azotate state minus 1.5, third azotate state minus 8.5, 0.85, minus 0.85. So n value increases, energy of the orbit increases, and go to at infinity energy that is equal to 0, and n equal to infinity at energy equal to 0. At infinite n equal to infinite, at infinite distance energy equal to 0, towards the nucleus energy decreases. That's why that value is negative. That value is negative. So for example, electron is present in second azotate state, that means that equal to third orbit. How many spetter lines are formed? So what is the formula of spetter lines? Sigma n2 minus n1. So second azotate state that come to ground state. Second azotate state means n2 equal to 3. Ground state means n1 equal to 1, that equal to sigma 2. Sigma 2 means 2 plus 1. How many spetter lines are formed? 3 spetter lines. 2 are Lyman series. 1 is a Balmer series. That is the very important. N value increases, energy increases. Z value increases, energy decreases. Energy decreases. So the graph between energy and n square. This is the n square per hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. Z equal to 1. For first orbit, n equal to 1. This is the n equal to 1. This point is n equal to 1. Starting value is n equal to 1. That value is minus 13.6. N value increases, energy increases. N value increases, energy increases. That value reach to 0. That value reach to 0. This is the 0 value. Energy is 0. Here n equal to 1. N equal to 1. This is the starting here point is n equal to 1. That equal to for hydrogen atom minus 13.6. Minus 13.6. N value increases, energy increases, that reach to 0 at n equal to infinity. N equal to infinity, that value is reached to 0. This is the very important. N value increases, energy also increases. Next, for first orbit per hydrogen atom or other atoms. So for first orbit. So first orbit n equal to 1. For different atoms, Z value increases. Z value increases. Here Z equal to 1. This value is 13.6. 13.6 here. Minus 13.6. For Z equal to 1. For Z equal to 1, that value is minus 13.6. So Z value increases, energy decreases. Z value increases, energy decreases. Z value increases, energy decreases. For hydrogen atom, for first orbit, what is the energy? Minus 13.6. For Z value increases for different atoms. So energy decreases. Energy decreases. Very important. That two graphs are very important. So next, for energies, ionization energy of any atom equal to, that is the positive value. Ionization energy nothing but required energy. Ionization energy nothing but required energy, that equal to plus 13.6 electron volts into Z square by n square. For ionization energy of any atom increases with increasing Z value. Ionization energy of any atom. Ionization energy of any atom increases with increase in Z per particular orbit. Per particular orbit. So ionization energy increases with increase in Z value. So per particular orbit. That is the very important. Energy is decreases with increase in Z, but ionization energy is increases with increase in Z. That is the very important. Per Z n equal to 1, Z value increases, ionization energy increases. Here slope equal to 13.6 by n square. The graph between ionization energy and Z square. For n equal to 1, that slope is 13.6. For hydrogen atom, ionization energy equal to E1 nothing but that equal to 13.6 electron volts, 13.6 electron volts by n square. So n value increases, ionization energy of hydrogen decreases. N value increases, ionization energy of hydrogen atom or any atoms decreases. For other atoms, hydrogen likewise E1 nothing but 13.6 into Z square by n square. So that is the very important formulas. So next go to total energy, potential energy and kinetic energy. What are relations? So total energy equal to minus Z square by 2R. That is the total energy. That equal to total energy always negative term. So that kinetic energy equal to K equal to plus Z square by 2R. Both values are equal but opposite signs. So here kinetic energy equal to minus of total energy. So minus Z square by 2R, that equal to plus Z square by 2R. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. For first orbit energy equal to minus 13.6 electron volts. Here kinetic energy equal to, for first orbit kinetic energy equal to plus 13.6 electron volts. For potential energy, what is the potential energy? What is the formula of potential energy? P equal to minus Z square by R. Minus Z square by R. So potential energy equal to 2 into total energy. 2 into total energy. Potential energy is double that of total energy, but both are negatives. So for first orbit, for hydrogen atom, first orbit potential energy equal to minus 27.2 electron volts. So these are the relations and ratio of the total energy, potential energy, kinetic energies. So potential energy is to kinetic energy, that equals to total energy, that equal to minus 2 is to 1 is to minus 1. This is the very important relation. So total energy, potential energies are increases with increase in n value. N value increases, total energy and potential energy increases. N value increases, total energy and potential energies are increases. N value increases, total energy and potential energies are increases. That are very important. N value increases, kinetic energy decreases. Kinetic energy decreases. So kinetic energy decreases. N value increases, kinetic energy decreases. So when compared to first and second orbit kinetic energy is more than second orbit kinetic energy. Second orbit kinetic energy is more than third orbit kinetic energy. n value increases, total energy, potential energies are increases. N value increases, kinetic energy decreases. Why? Because velocity decreases. N value increases, velocity decreases. That's why kinetic energy also decreases. That are very, very important. So next go to velocity of the orbit. Velocity of the orbit, that equal to Vn equal to 2.18 into 10 power 6 meter per second into Z by N. So what is the relation between velocity and orbit numbers n value? That is the inversely relation. So n value increases for particular atom, n value increases for particular atom, velocity decreases. Velocity decreases. This is a very, very important graph. So for hydrogen atom, first orbit velocity equal to 2.18 into 10 power 6 meter per second. For hydrogen atom, first orbit meter per second. For hydrogen atom, first orbit Z equal to 1, N equal to 1, that equal to 2.18 into 10 power 6. This is the very, very important. Already know that speed of the light equal to 3.0 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So velocity of the electron of hydrogen atom per first orbit, that is less than speed of the light. So per order C by C, velocity of the electron equal to 10 power 2, that order. So this approximately cancel. So well, speed of the light approximately 100 times greater than speed of the electron for first orbit. Speed of the light always greater than speed of the electron of the hydrogen atom. So this is the very, very important. N value increases, velocity of the orbit decreases. Here slope equal to 2.18 into 10 power 6. 2.18 into 10 power 6 into Z. So for hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. For other atoms, so graph between velocity and N, the slope is 2.18 into 10 power 6 meter per second into Z. Slope is given. Easily calculate the Z value. Slope is given. Easily calculate the Z value. Here slope equal to 2.18 into 10 power 8 meter per second is given. So what is the Z value? So here slope equal to this. So calculate the Z. Z equal to 2.18 into 10 power 8 by 2.18 into 10 power 6. That equal to 10 power 2. Here Z equal to 100. For atomic number 100 element, the slope equal to 2.18 into 10 power 8 meter per second. For atomic number Z, 100 equal to fermium, that equal to Fm. By using graph, easily calculate the atomic number of any element or particular orbit. So what is the relation between velocity and Z? That is the directly proportional. That relation is a direct relation. Z value increases for particular orbit, velocity of the orbit increases. The graph between velocity and Z increases. Yes, slope is 2.18 into 10 power 6 by N. For particular orbit, N is constant. Slope is given. Easily calculate the N value. Easily calculate the N value. By using velocity, easily calculate the Z value. Easily calculate the principal quantum number. N value increases, velocity decreases per particular atom. So Z value increases, velocity increases per particular orbit. So this is the very important. So your velocity v1 by v2 equal to v1 by v2 equal to z1 by z2 into n2 by n1. This relation is very important. One keep in your mind. So next, very important formulas are there. Number of revolutions per second and time per revolution. Number of revolutions, how to calculate? Velocity by circumference. Velocity by circumference, that equal to v by 2 pi r. Number of revolutions equal to velocity by 2 pi r. R value, you know the R value, you know the velocity, easily calculate that relation. 6.65 or 6.5 or pi 6 into 10 power 15 into z square by n cube. So n value increases, number of revolutions per second decreases. N value increases, number of revolution per second decreases. Z value increases per particular orbit, number of revolution per second increases. So number of revolutions directly proportional to number of revolutions directly proportional to z square. Directly proportional to z square and inversely proportional to n cube. Inversely proportional to n cube. By using this formula, easily calculate the n value and z values. N values and z values. For different orbits, for different atoms, R1 by R2 equal to number of revolutions, ratios equal to Z1 square by Z2 square into N2 cube by N1 cube. This is the relation, very important relation for different orbits, for different atoms. So next, time. Time is a reverse of frequency of revolution. Revolution nothing but frequency. The time is reciprocal of frequency, that equal to time equal to 2 pi r by velocity, that equal to 1.5 into 10 power minus 16 into n cube by z square. N cube by z square. Here n value increases, time increases per revolution. For each revolution, time increases. N value increases, time increases per revolution. For each revolution, time is increases with increase in n value. So z value increases per particular orbit, time is decreases. Time is decreases. For each revolution, time is decreases with increase in z value. So graph between time and n cube increases, and time between time and z square, the graph between time and z square, that is the inversely proportional. For particular orbit, time per revolution, z value increases, time decreases. That is the very important relations, very useful relations. This, don't miss it. Thank you very much.